Hey everybody, welcome to Leon's Chainsaw Parts and Repair. I'm into the Super XL from Ken. Try to cliff notes this. This is late grandfather's saw. Was running great a couple years ago. Could keep up with my brother's new still. Used some carb cleaner in it as I was adjusting high and low not while running. And between that and adjusting, it hasn't run or started since. Always had a fuel leak on the bottom when sitting. Still ran good, except it wouldn't idle long. Rather than rebuilding carb, because I heard carb cleaner can dry out the valve tip, I bought a new carb. Still nothing. Want to keep this alive. Okay. So, a lot to unpack there. If you're spraying carb cleaner through the carb, you're not going to dry out the fuel inlet needle. That much I know, because it won't ever make it in the fuel circuit. But you don't want to do that a whole lot, because there's no lubrication in carburetor cleaner. So, you hear a lot of guys really yowl when they hear that. And like, oh, you'll score it instantly. Well, more than likely, no, you're not. But it's still not great for it. So, you don't want to do that much, if at all. If you can avoid it, don't. But if you've got to prime it, a quick burst, you're not going to kill it. Alright, this fuel hose looks good. I don't know what brand of hose that is. Now that's a problem. That's a non-vented cap. So that would not be good on this saw, because this tank has to vent. What I'm trying to see here is if the hose is long enough to touch the bottom of the tank. And it's not. That hose is too short. So that doesn't help. Just leave that out, because that's got to be changed. I cut my hoses to 9.5 inches long. That's close, but that's only about 8 inches. So what that's going to do is hold that filter above the bottom of the tank. So unless you've got a full tank of fuel, not going to do so hot for you. But let's see. Alright, now, I don't want to throw up too much panic yet, but that's... Whoa! Oh, we got more and more. Wow. Do you guys see how the engine moved in there when I cranked that? Guys, the cylinder on this saw is actually loose. I'm a little bit dumbfounded. I don't think I have ever seen that happen. This is probably not going to be a quick repair. Or how is it? God, that looks compressed. I'm looking at the lock nut on the cylinder. I'm trying to think, how the hell... That wire is completely roached. Alright, I stand corrected. It's not loose there, but how else can this be moving around? What is loose on this saw? I mean, that shouldn't be doing that. And this is fixed. Well, that's just, oh wow. Starter pawl spring missing. Tooth busted off of the flywheel. Or not tooth, fin. Yeah, there is a little work needed on this saw. I hadn't intended to make this video last this long, but now I'm curious. Whatever the hell this is, somebody else might come across it out there at some point. Let's get this flywheel off and see if for some strange reason I'm racking my brain. How the hell can we see the cylinder move like that when rolling it over? And I'm not coming up with any good answers. I'll tell you one thing, when we figure it out, it's one I won't forget. At least I tell myself that now. Come on, baby. That's some funkalicious crap back there. And yes, that is a technical term. Alright, those are tight. Those tank bolts are tight. Where in the hell is this thing loose? And what do we have going on? I mean, the whole cylinder is moving there. What in the It's goofy stuff, folks. Real goofy. Well, the flywheel needs a little work, but that's the least of our problems right now. There's gotta be... Oh, okay. I see at least one nut that's backed off there. Let's get into this enough that hopefully we can say with certainty what's actually cracking here. So this implies that there's a massive air leak at the cylinder itself, which would explain why no matter what, it wouldn't idle and tuning was a miserable pain in the ass. Because a massive air leak at the cylinder is going to be bad every single time. We just got to hope that it's not all scored up. Otherwise, we're heading out to eBay looking for some used parts. I hate the fact that that fuel hose is too short, but it is. Nothing I can do about that. Come on, baby. Reed valves all look okay, and that gasket looks pretty good. So that's good. See if we can get this damn throttle handle loosened up and out of the way so that we can actually inspect the cylinder properly. I like to loosen these bottom ones with a wrench like I just did and then spin them out with a round shank screwdriver. I'm sure I've mentioned this before, but I use the round shank because it doesn't gore up the edge of the air filter box as much as a square. You can just barely get a ratchet in there with a socket, but the angle is never good. So, but all possible, I like to do it that way. Hell of a lot easier. So we need to dink around with getting the oil lines off. That's kind of a must. Oh God. What the hell? That wasn't tight. I bet any time that was used it leaked like a like a sieve. Get a little more clearance by pulling this spark plug. That boot is rotten. Oh, okay. What else are we gonna find? Resistor Champion. I'll be replacing that. I don't ever run resistor plugs on points ignitions. I just don't do it. No, I don't run them ever, to be honest. No point in making the ignition system work any harder than it needs to, in my not so humble opinion. Okay. Holy shit. Guys, the cylinder's broken. I don't know how the hell it's turning over. You see this? That flange is snapped freaking in half. It's cracked across the flange and up into the damn... I don't know how that happens. I don't know why that happens. I've never seen that happen. I'm a little dumbfounded, to be quite honest. Holy sh... Guys... The only thing holding that cylinder on was one nut down there and this coil bracket. It's literally busted the rest of the way. What the f... And this cylinder's been replaced. This has the 70072 cylinder on it. That was never used originally on a blue saw. It hadn't been made yet. Wow. I'm speechless. This is insane. What in the hell is going on here? Was that threaded into the... Oh, this was welded into the original bolt. Alright. Yeah, that's okay. I hate to say it, but that muffler cover's done. And that lower one's loose too. Wow. I've got to get... I was hoping I could just get this thing out and show you guys without an incredible amount of screwing around, but there's just certain things I've got to take apart here. Sure glad I threw that on the floor. Oh man. You know, the fact that this ever ran like this, I don't even know how it could. Don't even know how it could. What in the world? I mean, you guys are seeing this, right? This is effing nuts. I hate to think crankcase. Oh my god. I don't even know what to say at this point. Well, that's stud complete. So that's ripped out of the... God damn it. There's our cylinder. So this stud came right out of the crankcase. The threads are not torn out somehow. Don't ask me how. But apparently the threads on the nut are gold. But it doesn't matter because that cylinder's a complete pile of crap at this point. So, through all of that, she scored on the muffler side. And the last time it ran, I'm guessing it collapsed the ring landing on the lower ring. The upper one's still moving, somehow. Doesn't appear to have damaged the bottom end. Again, I don't know how. I guess it could never run long enough to. This is insane. I don't even know. Shit. This is going to be a pain in the ass. Those studs can be replaced, but they really aren't meant to come out of the crankcase like this. Trying to get the nut back off is next to impossible. God damn it, come on. Finish this up. There's the other piece of the cylinder. Never seen one do that. Alright, I guess I burned enough freaking camera time here. What caused this? I have to assume, again, because that cylinder is not original to this saw. That 70072, I have never seen it on a blue saw. It had to have come, it's been replaced at some point. I have to assume that the nuts on this side didn't get tightened enough when that cylinder was replaced. And when they loosened up, the two that were tight on this side were the only thing holding that cylinder in place. And once it got to be enough of a mismatch, either it got hot enough, over revved, I don't know. The metal fatigued and it broke the base of the cylinder off where, you know, this was supported, this side wasn't. It eventually got hot enough that it broke. And the metal fatigued. So, where do we go from here? Ken, this is not going to be cheap. You know, this isn't a quick tune-up and go. Assuming all your other parts are still good, like the ignition, you know, I got to do a wire there, take that. That's easy stuff. A new carb should go, the fuel line should go, no problem. I'm going to have to go to eBay for a used engine, piston cylinder. And depending, I'll look at this a little bit close. Now, I'm just going to say it. I'm pretty sure I'd like to replace this crankcase. Not an expensive part, but there's more labor. I'm going to have to get the rod off, inspect those the rod bearings. Given what happened to this, can't tell if that play is in the piston. I'll check the wrist pin bearing and we'll put seals on it. So this is probably a good $150 to anywhere from $150 to $200 would be my best guess, unless I find that screaming deal on eBay. I don't know. Sometimes I do, sometimes I don't. It just depends on the day of the week. So yeah, we'll get a better sense. Oh, and we need to replace the fuel cap with one that's actually vented. That is not vented. So this thing will never run quite right. It'll start and then it'll starve, which who knows, could be part of what's going on here. Anyhow, we'll wrap this up and we'll see what Ken wants to do.